Okay, I hope that you can hear me right now. We'll check everything here. Okay, I have to check with another account if everything have fine connection. Okay, can we check the voice right now? Everything it's fine. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Okay, can we check the voice right now? Everything. Okay, I think we can start right now. So thank you very much once again that you are here. We are starting live here on YouTube and also on Zoom directly, and we will talk about why your aligner workflow is slowing you down and how to fix it. Thank you very much that you are here in Poland and also around the world. So good evening and also good morning for anybody around the world. If you have also possibility, I will thank you if you tag us also as Dental Movies or Dr. Chichkevich or Academy of Orthodontics, because we are doing a lot of things to do and to spread knowledge around the world through the social media. So if you have the options to tag us on YouTube and also for, I think, um, any social media like this. I will also connect my iPad to sketch some options on it. So it will be okay. So you will learn how to streamline your planning and communication through this presentation. I also use photo scanners and application, which can save your time and accelerate your final movement during communication in office, but also with the laboratories. Avoid virtual monitoring traps and also uh, on-site difficulties, which provides the problems and which block the communications between the doctors, between the staff, and also between all the clinics with the laboratories. Then blocked your situations with production of the aligners. And also we try to reduce chair time without losing control of the production of liners and also controlling the movements and automate liner delivery and trim workflow. So this is the elements what we would like to do during this communication with this presentation. And maybe you know or not that people think about the acceleration, that if you want to accelerate the treatment, you have to do the precision or the micro vibration, and you think that is the idea of accelerant or photobiomodulation. So the element of the that you use the lights on the teeth, but sometimes it's not working in that way because options like this to accelerate the treatment, of course, is the decision. The peer decision is the elements what we are doing in the clinic, and then we accelerate treatment. But whole the presentation is not so only the clinical side, but also the element that you can speed up your treatment because some the traps are inside of the workflow that you are looking from above the table. So if you have all the organization of the clinic or on the clinic small office, the problem appears when you have the not only one patient but 10 patients, 20 patients, 30 patients, and it's going like the snowball. So you have to have the programs of the software that you bring you the automatization, all the options that you can do something like to-do list. So right now, what I would like to do, so to give you options to think that sometimes the software of the production of the liners is not completed because it's difficult to assess the information where are you in the process. So we are using the different software to have the finalization of our production. So for example, if you want to do some products like the patients with the additional liners or the new product, then we will put the patients into the to-do list. And then during doing list, then we finalize with the additional treatment or with additional um, elements of the treatment, like of the additional data, like OPG or CBCT, etc. If we finalize the elements with the production, then we can click to done, because sometimes the treatment or the animation have to be discussed with the another doctors, and communication go with that we have to postpone, and then is going to another direction. So if we will go with the only one software, we can lose our time or lose the treatment from our horizon, and then we like to go with a different program to have the to-do list. Another great program to have the organization like this with the projects is Asana. Asana is the options like the Trello, but give you the another option that you can bring the people inside. So then you create the projects and you cooperate with people like the doctors or the treatment coordinator, and then you can create the different options for communication of our staff or your staff that you're creating the new aligners or the new products. Or you can bring like us. We created boards on Monday, and here you can see something like that, what we created. So here on the left, we have the table with the surnames and the names, and then we have the doctors here. And here we have also the updates, what we like to do. So for example, we are going to do the plan, and then we are creating the new plan, or doing the new prescription, or going the prosthodontic treatment, the patients, and then we schedule for another scan. And it's good to set up the deadlines, because then we will have the slot of our time. If we have to postpone, then we change our deadline. But of course, if you can see here, the option is we are going out of our deadline here, and here we have also the margin here inside, because we don't want to change our dates. Also here, also we have the description, because sometimes the patient needs the passive aligners, or we would like to not go inside to the elements of the cards. So for example, we can create additional information for to look inside that the animation or the plan to do, for example, additional data, like some information from the doctor, from prosthodontist or periodontologist or implantologist. So the other doctors have also the options to this plan. So communications is faster here. Then we don't want to nivellate our worthwhile here, because slowing down can be here. Then you cooperate only one software, then you see only the changes between the planning, like the animation. So if you have the patients in one software, it's sometimes difficult to assess where there are the projects. So it's better to have that to-do list with another software, which are very simple. Is like the to do or done, and then you create very simple way to do it. Yeah, I think it's clear for you. If not, just tell me in chat on YouTube. So another problem when you can create the block on the whole treatment, it's scanners. Scanners the idea is they want to help you the projects, because they create a 3D scan, and they change this element very fast to from the office to the laboratories or the different place to another planet, place on our planet. But sometimes the problems appear if we go inside the problem. So the problem appears here. You have here on the photos the scanner Itero and free shape, but also there are many of them on the market. So, for example, if you are looking here, you have the mobile scanner, so wireless. I have many of them in the clinics, so I can share with you some our feedback how that's working with them. So problems appears here. Then we have, for example, like the mobile one, because the battery is sometimes changing with the connections. Sometimes if you change the position of the scanners, the whole head of the scanners sometimes is changing the position of the battery, and the battery can disconnect, and then it will slow you down the whole the whole idea of the scanning, because it's disconnected. It's not a big deal, but sometimes it's creating a huge problems if the position of the each rotation of the scanner is the same way. Of course, you have to go to the service, but sometimes it can be very irritating that the scanners, which should be wireless and very useful, it's not, because it's disconnected all the time. So this is one problem of wireless scanner. And the another one, of course, is that you have to juggling with the batteries. So it means that you have the one battery, two batteries, three batteries, and sometimes your assistant should always be up to date that your battery inside the scanners is all the time in the function, because it's not, the problem appears because the scanner is turning off, and then it's turning off, and you want to starting scanning, so you have to changing, and then you warming up the scanner, and then appears the other problems. And the other problems appears if the sleeve or the tip, how you call it, it's very cold, and it's not have a big time. You don't have so much time to warming up the scanner, the head of the scanner. And the problem appear with the foggy fog on the screen, not the screen, but of the shield of the tip or the mirror. And the scan, it'll be not so good, very clear, and it's another big problem, because the scanning will be very irritating. It will be slowing you down, because the data will go very slow to your scanner and also to your computer. So you have to repeat and repeat, and sometimes you have to delay the scanner and to do it one more time. So if you want to avoid the problem, it's better to prepare the scanner just like that it should be warm, and then prepare the tip or the sleeve on it that is warming up before the scanning for 1 or 2 or 3 minutes, or depends. So sometimes it's better to have the not wireless scanners, but better this wired, because the wired scanners have the connection all the time with the cable, and this cable give us the support with the energy. So it's not the problem that you have to juggling with the batteries all the time. And if I have recently see the data that line is on the first place, and the Metis is the second place, and then Slicirona and the Free Shape is on the fourth place. I was very right now um, how to say before 3 years, 4 years, I was thinking that leaders of the scanners were the free shape and then not Medit. But right now I see it that for me surprised that Medit is on second place. But the problem appears that if you want to have the scanners, you have to have options for the bridging between the different systems. So right now I see by the arm clinic that the free shape give you the options that you have to possibility to send the 3D scans to the different options. So the system is so open in the Trios 3 that you can send scans to the Invisalign, but also you can send to the different laboratories. The Medit don't give you these options, but the Medit is very, of course, cheap scanners and give you maybe the second place. But Align give you the first place because it's limiting maybe the market on the place by selecting the providers with the scanners and support of the aligner system for Invisalign, and that's the reason. Connection with the lab, if you choose the scanners, it's another direction, and we give you the options of the possibility of the slowing down because the best options is the bridging. So the bridging, if you building the communication by these options, and that the options is going in this way that the connection is directly from the scanner to the lab. It's not going by the sending STL files. Because if you send the STL files by this directions that you for example, export from the scanner, and then you have to building to the hard disk, and then to import to another program. It gives you the slowing down by minutes. So if you have the one patient, two patients, 20 patients, and you multiply this, losing the time, this snowball is going huge, and the volume of the time you're losing through the hands. So it's better to not doing in this way. So of course, if you want to do a very good way, it's better to connection with lab and direct bridge between the scanner and the lab makes the work faster and smoother by doing bridging, not the sending us of files and think about it. Here on the left, you have the robot and the arm of the robot from the Köln during the International Dental Show 2025. So you can see how it works in the direct printing, not the direct printing, but making the aligners. What to do with scanner? Choose the scanner with options of bridging with the lab. So this is the first options. Better wired scanners than wireless, like I said, because you can lose the time. And of course, like I said, the 1 minute, 10 minutes give you the saving the huge time of the money also. Puts on sleeve and tip before scanning to have the time to warm it and to limit the options of the foggy on the mirror and also foggy on the glass. Turn on the scanner a moment before the scanning to warm up the tip. So there are the elements. You can speed up the elements during the scanning, and it's a game changer during the whole idea in the clinic, but also in the small offices. When you want to order a liner system or the individual digital treatment plans and generating the final delivery package, you think about it that you order the aligners, but also delivering to the office. And if you want to deliver to the office, your, for example, staff can also lose the time. If you lose the time by this reason, because if you order these aligners to the clinic, then you think about it that sometimes your staff have to make a call to the patients and then give these aligners to the patients. If you can deliver this package exactly to the patients, and to limit the time through the clinics, you save the time and also you save the money because you delegate these people to another projects. Think about it in this idea, what we have with the once-liner communication. So there are a lot of products because there can be aligners and also it can be the different removable appliances or retainers. And here we have the place that we can create the order, and we ordering, for example, the setup, or we order the individual aligners or the whole package of additional aligners. And then when we have the exit order, then we go to the finalization of our order. So where to send it. If you want to send to the clinic, of course you can send it because you have to put the attachments and you have to do this IPR elements and etc. But you can also use the inpost parcel local, and then you choose it on the map on the Poland, or you can choose on the Europe, and you save time. So you write down the email, you write down the phone number, and the patient will be informed by the system very fast that the aligners are inside the package and are inside the locker. So the ones laboratory give you the final very good elements of the delivery and this step. If you want to do it, it's very good idea of fast elements of the delivering of the elements. Additional aligners is another step you can speed up your treatment. Think about this element here. The problem up here, for example, if you're doing and you're creating the order of additional aligners. Here we have the normal order that, for example, you have to think about that, not delete your elements of the attachments, because the idea during the certification, sometimes of the teaching the other doctors, that you have to delete whole elements of the attachment, the old one, and you have to create the new one. So if you think about it, you're losing a lot of time during this procedure, because you have to have time for the removing it and also to putting on the new one, the bonded. So if you calculate these procedures, you lose whole package of the time. And if you have the exact elements on the teeth and you create them, you think about it, that there are leverage and there are also some elements of the grip. You can create the moment of the forces and you take them by the movement. And of course, sometimes you have to change it because if you have on the right position, that you have the idea that the elements is removed attachment, because the elements of the margin is very close to the incision of the elements of the elastic. So in this idea was necessary to create the new one, because the problem appears during the animations and the plan, because you can see that it's very close, that sometimes the incision of the elastics is too close to another attachment. So that the cats and also the laboratories want to limit the problems of the elements of the stiffness of the aligners, and then change the position of the attachment and make it for us the limitation, and then creating the removal of the attachment. We have to think about it. So where problem starts really? Before scanning plan attachments, create them and scan. So if you want to really create and work really fast, we are thinking about that, that you have to pay, you want to do additional additional aligners. It's better to create them on site on the visit when the patient is on the visit, and then create the holes inside the last liner and to start try to fill it. And then when you're scanning, you have the new already attachments on the teeth. And if you have the situation just like that, your aligners can be delivered exactly to the patients, and also can be also delivered to the reception, and patient don't waste your chair time on your visit. And also you have to think about that you're putting the buttons. So button the buttons, scan and cut out liners. And also if you think about the incision for the elastics, cut off the liners. So you have to prepare all the liners for the next step if you want to create the elastic on them. And also teach patients how to wear elastic, because sometimes it's a new elements of the treatments and the patient don't know how to do it. So if you want to speed up, so you don't want to waste your time for the next segment because you're doing on this visit, and then you're saving a lot of time on it. If you want to also limit your losing the time, it's a thing about that do not remove attachment by the cats, and you sometimes it's happening automatically by doing the prescription. So then you have to create the new during planning, and then you have to create new during delivering. So if you are looking here from the one plant and to another plant, you see that sometimes somebody make a problem here because there are attachments here and then disappeared, and we have to write down to CAT and also write down to laboratory. Please bring them on our plan our old version of the attachments which were on our scans, because sometimes they are deleted by the system automatically, or by AI, or by the people. So it's better to have them, because then you can have limitation of the losing the time to bond one more time or change them directly on the visit. So you can save a lot of time here. So this is the bigger image of the situation. So the original here, the first step of our treatments. Here we have the attachment additional, and also they are deleted by somebody or by software, and we bring them one more time on our 3D scan on animation. And also on the other side, we can see how it's working. That is on the left side. Sometimes we delete elastics because we change the position of the incision, or we change the position of the buttons, like you can see here. But the whole idea is to have them and teach the people on the visit when we have them exactly on site, not having on another visit, because we have to also losing our time. So another elements of here is idea, if you have this element of putting the new face, so like with the elastics, so not only attachments appear, but you want to bring the elastics. So the elastics appears here, so you have the incision, and you have the cutout, which you didn't have before. So if you want to bring it, so think about, you have to cut out the liner. So we cut the liner here, we cut the liner here, we put the buttons, the clear and also the metal one here. We giving the patients with the new elements like the elastics and the special tool to how to put it, and also we teach them, and the patients is educated in this way, and we trying to avoid a problem for the next visits. So we doing in this way all the things together, so we limit additional time of our visits. So we can reduce the patients not going through the additional appointment, then the patients going only through the reception. So the reception and then giving you the only aligners, and that's it. You save a lot of time. So if you have like for visit 15 minutes and then you have like 10 patients, so think about it, 10 patients or 100 patients, and this is the time you can save it really through the limitations of these elements here. Let's go through the ordering liners. Here we have the elements of the vision of the prescriptions. Here we giving the information for the systems that the patient's wearing, the, for example, 14 liner from 22. And then there's the formula of where to put precision cuts, so we can also find it that precision cuts interface, and if we click it we can indicate where to put this elastics. So we have the diagram in this way that you have here elastic hook, and also button cutout. So then you have to also indicate exactly how to do it, because if of course it's the problem if you find it in this way, because it will not working if you have the forces just like that, because it's not working. So of course you have making incision in the right direction, because the incision then will bring that elastics, it will work. So of course it's working very good. And also you have the precision cuts for the buttons when you're ordering the aligners, and how to cut out and teach the patients with that. Ordering aligners. And another great options if you want to save your time. So sometimes it's difficult to see the spaces between the teeth. So when we have the very fast visit and we want to be very fast with that, it's good to write down where exactly we have the spaces between the teeth, because sometimes they are very clear to indicate them and we can see them, but because sometimes it's not clear. It's not because we don't have photo from right side, because sometimes it's very difficult to assess. So it's better sometimes to indicate how millimeters we have between on it. So we write down information or very huge diagram between the lines, what type of the space that we have on it, because like I said, scanners sometimes do not indicate very good the systems of the spaces. So if you indicate very good and very so to say very deeply how big is space here between the teeth, then you save your time, because you're doing only one set of additional aligners, not 2 or 3, because you will close the gaps in the one set of the liners, not doing in then another one and another one and another one. So another problem is with the attachments and the monitoring, because sometimes the rotation of the incisor of the different teeth are going very nicely, and you can see that it's working. It's because of the rotations is going in this way, that it's rotating, but sometimes it's you losing your tooth inside the aligners. So then you have to have the grip of the attachments, because the attachments will behave like a lock inside the aligners that is will stabilize your tooth inside inside that aligners that you can rotate very nicely, and you don't will lose with the rotations. But sometimes the oval shape is very good. You can do it without any attachments. So you have the effect here with the rotation of the second incisors of the upper on the right side. But sometimes you can see the no tracking, and then you don't have no tracking of the rotation of these incisors, but you have already attachments, and you want to bring the additional liners. Of course, you can create on an animation, and you do add a thing about it later. But of course, if you want to save your time, it's better to analyze very fast during the what's going on the visit, and then to add additional composite here. So if you add additional composite here, and you can create the forces that get the grip, then you bring the elements of the additional forces during the scanning. So then, of course, it will help you to save your time, because then you schedule your appointment with only delivering the additional liners without creating anything with the bonding, because you bond these elements here with before the scanning. So if you can see here, when we have the rotation of this lateral incisors, we are losing it. We don't have track, and the fitting is not very well here. We can see it, of course, but sometimes we can create and we add additional elements of the composite here. So we correct during the visit. We are not wasting our time and waiting for the animations and think about it. Another elements of the monitoring during appointments is the problem, because if you have options of monitoring, virtual monitoring, so remotely and on site on the visit, you can see the options and the difference that you can put the air spray, or it's the only air, and to limit the saliva from here, and adaptations and assessment of the fitting of the aligners is very okay, very is better than you compare to another one with the elements of the scanning. So if you compare with the scanning like the virtual car, sometimes it's a problem because you're losing your time on it. So if you want to don't waste your time, it's better to doing with not having something like the leash, because think about it, if you have the elements like this, so if you educate the patients how your aligners are fitting very well, you don't have to educate the patients how to scan the patients and to check them, or be checked the system, that the patients have to check it by themselves if the aligners are very good fitting very well, because who is be responsible for that? If you will bring dental monitoring or the other elements on it, or AI, or it will be somebody but delegates by you, so responsibility will be on this person. But of course, if will be happening the problem, the elements of the fitting is not well, of course the patients will give you will go with the call to the reception, and or will contact with you. So we'll give you the chat and the information with the feedback, what's going on and what to do. So sometimes it's very difficult to assess what to do next with these patients. So if we have the situation like that, so analyzing with the big data on it, it's losing our time on the spending and analyzing the data on it, or delegating the people on it and losing the time of the system like that. So it's better to think about it, that if you have the static element of the fitting, so because is the only the static information for you, like the you cannot feel how your aligners is behaving on the teeth because it's not working. You can do it on the visit. So if you have the visit and you take the patients on the visit, so think about it, that the patient's communicating with you, so you're wasting your time with the chat to like 10 minutes, and at the end of the day, the patients will come to the visit because something is not is something wrong with the fitting between the aligners and also with the attachments and the whole crown of the tooth. So then you trying to figure out on the visit. So if something will be wrong, something wrong like that, so it's better that patient will appear, of course, directly to the visit, not giving the losing your time through these elements of the chat, because and scanning all the time the whole data. And if you analyze it that you can see, of course, the different way, because sometimes the patients make the consultations and to send you the very nicely photos by using the spoons. This is the options like with the pandemic time. The I watched from the American side that the orthodontists were not only scanning but making the consultation on it for the internet to what's going on with the aligner treatment, and very useful. So it's a budget version, but of course we'll give you the options to analyze what's going on inside. But of course, think about it, that the problem appears if you want to see not only the saliva, because saliva give you the limitation of the assessment, but of course how the works of the liner. So here we can on visit, we can push the liner, but sometimes it's difficult to do it. So then we take take the burr, and we clean the elements of the attachments from the tooth. And then if we clean it, then we take the new one by pushing the aligner. So we trying to create the new one by making a pressure. So if we connect all the dots here on the workflow, and we trying to do with this communication through the dental monitoring or something like that on virtual, so it's not will work because it's the static photos, it's the static elements of the analysis. So if you want to create a good data and to analyze anything just like that, it's better to analyze on site on the visit, because then you can decide what to do with the another aligners and how to behave. So here you can see that I create the forces by the grinding cotton roll with the patients, and the patients during the light curing the attachments will squeeze the aligner and also use the wine guard pliers to push the elements on it, and then forces appeared on the crown directly and very fast. So then we can correct it on site. And of course, options will be delivering the new aligners. So if you analyze right now, elements how to not slowing down your treatment in your workflow with the patients. So one thing is analyzing the data by AI or by the to discuss by the patients. So this is one thing of losing the time. The another thing is ordering in this way the new aligners. If you can create the new attachments by these elements of this aligner what the patients have and create and change that and convert them that not working to this which are working on it, so you save a lot of time because making a prescription, waiting for this animations and also correcting it and then delivering to the reception and giving the information that the patients have to take them from the clinic, inform them by the short messages or even by phone. It's losing the time. We can delegate these people by the other to the other projects. So here you can see how the correct attachment during appointments work. So we have the small spaces between on it. And of course, it's not good in some way, but of course it will working for a while. And then we make a leverage on it on this tool, and we save our time for the next weeks, for the next months. So if the other elements of the aligners working very good and fitting very well in the other regions, is good to go with that. So here we have the root movements by the monitoring. Sometimes it's good to monitor in this way and correct on site on the visit. So it means that you don't have to also order the new aligners. It's better to correct by not doing the new attachments. So like I said, we don't order new aligners. We correct this aligner what the patients have. We trying to change the position of the buttons and then making the forces by creating the leverage because we want to take them down. So we want to take these forces by using the elements on the root, not only the crown. So we can see that it's working and we save some weeks with that idea. So here there are options that you can do in this direction. Then you can doing the expansion and also opening the space for the premolars. So the options with the torque can be easily done with, of course, with the very simple buttons and cut out with the aligners. You don't have to create the new attachments and ordering the new elements of the liners. But of course, if you want to do it, is the options. And another things is using the mobile. So the mobiles elements and the tablets giving the many options of the streamline and giving the very fast way for by the mobile photo uploader. So it depends on the software how to do it. But of course, if you want to have very nice photo, it's very difficult to have the very nice photo and also have very very fast way of the production of the aligners because it's difficult to making on the table the same things. So if you want to save your time, think about using smartphones for the photos or tablets like the iPads. But if you think about the quality, of course, it's better using DSLR and this kind of the elements. But right now, like I can say that my workflow changing because for additional using the mobile, but for the beginning and the end of the treatment to having a nice photos, I'm using the DSLR, of course. But if you want to very fast work, think about only mobiles. that uploading and also serving, changing for this servers, this photos, it will be very very fast. But of course, you can make a photos of the photo. So it means that sometimes I'm using this kind of the elements. So I'm using the DSLR, we are exporting to the computer. Then we take the elements of the mobile photo uploader, and take the photo of the photo from the computer. So we are using photo of the desktop, so we can save our time because we make a photo directly to the app, and then we creating the prescription of the patients, because it depends, of course, of the system how you working. It's very good, of course, if you want to save your time with the lab, and that you inform by the sketches how you want to perform the treatment, not only by writing, but of course by using the elements of the sketches, and that the cats and also the laboratory know how you perform the whole treatment in 2D, and they convert in 3D. Sometimes if we created a prescription for additional liners, we create the additional graphic image with text, prepare clean check without photos, because sometimes it's revealed a problem that laboratory bring us the prescription to our office by emails that we didn't finalize the prescription because there are no photos, or there's the gaps because the black. So we prepare the clean check without photos, and there is the whole information because it's on the photo, and we are sending by the college. But recently I saw that some laboratory change the three elements, so you can put for the each elements for the right side or the front teeth or the college, and the third one the options like no photos. So this is the good idea of for very short prescription for this direction that you can save your time. So this is the option like I wanted to have it. And the another things what I was describe you by some videos on Facebook and also on YouTube and Instagram, is visualization and presentation the forces. There's the new elements what you can find of the many elements of the softwares, and the softwares comes from one liner, and this one liner options giving the options where the forces appears on the tooth. So it means that they are behaving like the wind vectors from the weather. So giving the options that if you rotate, or having the options like for the torque, you're trying to figure out, you're seeing the forces exactly with the narrows, and this narrows, and then giving the thinking how you want to create the movements with the shape of the crown, and then you analyze this shape of the crown not giving the good support, because you can't doing this movement. So you have to have additional elements for the leverage, like attachment just like that, like with the rectangular, horizontal, or vertical. It depends on the oval shape. So the type of attachment, size of the attachment, and the position of the attachment depends of how you create this element of the treatment. So sometimes these elements of the softwares will help you with finding the position and the size, and also the type of the attachments in the final elements. So is And the new options, like I saw with the once liner options, so you can find it. But of course, many right now on the market appears many solutions. So it's good to see and observe the market, what's going on, how to deal. And when we go through the this kind of the movement, I would like to give you the things and the traps where appears and can slow you down. For example, if you have the whole treatment with the axis like on the bottom, you can see that sometimes you have to analyze that attachments appears from the first liner. So you have to analyze that the patients will become on the visit, on the first visit, and will leave your clinic, your office, with every single attachment on it, and will not appear with the next couple weeks. That because you have the template and you have to bond the new attachment on it. So think about it. If you want to speed up your treatment, you can't lose your time on bonding for the one patients all the time. The new attachments will appears. And of course, if you analyze these elements just like that, and you have the template from the ones from the beginning, and also you have in the middle the templates. So the template in the middle is not so quite fitted very well like this the first one. So if you want to have the very good fitting aligner, the good fitting template, it's better to use it on the first phase, so on the first aligner, so not having on the 5 or 6 or the 10, so in the middle. So then we automate the whole process. So this another traps will appear on your clean check or your animations, and you have to think about it. You have to bond it on the first visit. So think about it. You can change it, of course. So you write down to the laboratory that you bring all attachments from the beginning, not appear in the middle. And the next thing that you starting from the first attachments, like it's here that you can rotate it. So rotations appears very nicely, but if will, for example, appears later, maybe rotation will not being so successful because the adaptation of the liner will be shifted. So attachments from first aligner, IPR at first appointment, and really more, because when you analyze this kind of the elements, there are many elements on it. If you want to clear thing about it, you can scan the QR code. You'll find more courses about it. So you'll find out what we have on it on our sites. If you think about on our what's going on between Academy of Orthodontics and dental movies. So we are doing online consultation support with 3D, 2D planning. I'm doing the VOD courses, online courses, on-site courses, in-office courses. So a lot of things like that. And next webinar, what we are doing with you, so we'll be on January. It will be 3D planning with skeletal anchorage. So you can save your date, the save date, and be there. You can inform your colleagues about it if you want it. Thank you very much one more time that you be here this morning for someone, or evening for someone. Thank you very much, and good night. Have a nice day. Thank you very much, and bye. Maybe you have maybe some question. Do you have some question to the presentation? I don't see any problems with this subject. Okay, so I think we can finish. Thank you very much one more time. See you next time and bye.